after we just saw that very interesting report. Of course, I'm from press selection to report also to another, let me say, nice topic, let me say, also to energize your Wednesday here today, and it is definitely a topic called digital PR, which definitely it is digital also public relations. And also to speak to us about this subject is Mr. Jawad Khan, Executive Director Officer. First of all, Mr. Jawad, welcome to the show, and good morning.
Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you
Thanks
very
a
much.
lot.
Yeah.
Mr. Jawad, I think when everybody, knows PR, he would know, okay, it is public relation. But when you put digital PR, many would say, what does it mean? What is digital PR? What is digital public relation?
Yeah, the difference between the traditional PR and the digital PR is like you engage the audience on digital platforms, like online, like on mobile apps, all the digital platforms. You engage the audience on online, on an internet. Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah, the difference
about it. And of course, when you speak about it, what is it that you do as a digital PR company?
As a digital PR agency, if we make it very simple term, like we engage the audience on digital platforms. We build the positive relations between the organizations and their audience. We come up with some strategies that how we can engage them, and then deliver the organization message to their audience. Yeah.
And now, Mr. Jawad, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, as you're the executive director for this digital PR company, tell us a little bit about as to what made you think in this dimension to be starting a digital PR company to begin with. I mean, do you really feel like a need for it here in the Saudi markets, and how do you think could we be able to achieve excellence through digital PR?
Actually, what attracts me towards digital PR, it gives me an opportunity to communicate with mass audience, interact with them, solving their problems. So this is what attracts me initially towards digital PR. And then there was a market like for digital PR. It's a new trend in the market, so there was a need. The latest surveys I studied it is like 60% people are spending their more time on online or on their mobile apps. So it really attracts me to start my own PR agency. Yeah.
So let me ask you here, Mr. Jawad, like we know that people have as a specialty public relations and they study public relations. Now, are they also now offering courses in digital public relations too?
Yeah, there is so many short courses and also the specialized diplomas in digital PRs, because it's totally different than
the conventional PR.
Yeah, the traditional PR. Because in traditional PR, like you are engaging like your auditors, or and in digital PR you are answer to your community. So it's a totally different strategies you follow. Yeah.
Good points and factors. But let me also ask you the research that you do to the companies, for example. I mean, you most of course work with the private sector. The sort of information that is being required from your agency, what is it, and where do you also and how do you also get the information? For example, what sort of sources do you use in the research process? What is your research process also, for example, and what is the information that is required or that is asked from your agency?
Yeah, make it very simple. Like if we are doing a business with the private companies, first of all we sit with them and see what exactly their company or their brand is offering. They have so many information about their brands, their services, their organization, so we get all the information from them. About the audience, once we know that we are targeting youth or we are targeting more than 60 years old customers, we go for like surveys on digital platforms, a structured or semi-structured questionnaires. We get the information from them, we execute them, and see what exactly our target audience is using, like as in for either they are using more mobile applications or they are using any.
So you just market, so you like a market, for example, like if I'm going to do a new business, for example, currently, I'm going to open a new electronic stores in the kingdom. for example, and then I come to you also for to your agency to do to me also a digital PR, you know, research. So you for example, like send you market the product. You send, for example, to SMS messages to the consumer out there, to the public, emails, market. So it's like marketing at the same time.
Yes, definitely. We have to use marketing tools to deliver our message to engage the audience. But the thing is, like, we have to see it like, is SMS is effective or not? Either they are, you know, reading the SMS or not. So for this, we have to see what kind of behavior your target audience has. If you are targeting the people who are looking for electronics, maybe they are going for this tabloid, reading tabloids. So we will distribute the tabloids and deliver your message through to the print materials. Yeah.
And now, Mr. Jawad, tell us as to how is it that companies and organizations or businesses could benefit from your digital PR company. Let's say that we are a media network, so Saudi Television Channel 2. And if we, for the channel, we hire you as our digital PR supporters, what is it that you do and how, I mean, like, you know, explain it to me like ABC so that I would be able to understand along with many of our viewers who are still a little bit lost. And I think that nowadays we have so much of technology that, I mean, I feel like, you know, one day we are going to be looking at a digital chef who's going to be cooking food for us and we would be eating virtual food or something. So tell us as to how is it done. I mean, like, let's say if we are a TV channel, what is it that you could do for us through digital PR and how?
First of all, we will see, like, again, that what kind of programs we have it. They are targeting the females, or they are targeting the youth, or they are targeting to the businessmen. Yeah.
Right.
First of all, we make the segments.
So you do a survey.
Yeah, we do the surveys.
Consumer survey.
Consumer surveys, as well as we will study the your programs. Like if it's about, you know, business, if it's about, you know, youth or females.
Now we have a little bit of it all in the channel.
Yeah.
So how does it go about?
Yeah. All right. So we will see their where they are spending their times more. So where we can engage them. If we are targeting females, like from 24 to 30 years old, so we'll see either they are spending their times on online applications, or they are spending their times on visiting, you know, the malls or something like that. So if they are going to the malls, we have to come up with some strategy that we can engage them digitally in the malls. Like we have a screen, interactive screens, so they can get our, you know, message that there is a program for females. They talk about health, they talk about, you know, cooking and other things, you know, to communicate with the females. But if it's if they are spending more time on online, so we will see like what social networking side is more, you know, engaging females from 20 to 30 years old females.
Indeed.
So
now let's say that, you know, some of the things now are so obvious. So let's say that people, they know that the youth is really engaged in communications through the internet nowadays. We get to see through social networking websites. So why is it that I should not go ahead and directly start advertising on Facebook instead of coming to your company?
No, actually, like if you go for directly advertising, sometimes you focus what you think like your audience is thinking about you. So if you come to us, we do the research, we see like what exactly your target audience think about your organization. So many hidden information you will find it. Sometimes we do the surveys, we think like we are the market leaders and everybody knows about our, you know, show. But when we do the survey, we come up with like only 3% people know about our show or something like that. So once you are doing something, and once you are in the organization, you think like I'm doing good and everybody knows me, something like that. So so that's why you have to go for the professionals and see the things in real life.
But Mr. Jawad, professionally speaking, me as a private sector, for example, or as, you know, a company or a small foundation, when I come to a digital PR company, I would like to know also where do they get their source also. Research-wise, I would like numbers. Do you give numbers, for example, of a percentage, like for example, 40% of the youth, they enjoy watching, for example, action. 30 they like comedies. Do you do that research? And where is the research? I mean, where do you get also the source from? Like you mentioned also to me that you guys do have a real estate also companies that you
Yeah.
get. In the real estate sector, I think in the kingdom, it's being Pacific, the real estate sector or major, it's big in the kingdom, and it's not actually connected, like for example to a database like in banking or companies that you can get information. It's much different. I would like to know also in such a case, how also would you get the information, and how also would you market the real estate? I mean, office or company or foundation in general.
There's a different ways to do to get the results or to get the information. As I told you, like if first of all we have to see, like if you are targeting the businessman through the real estate companies, they will come and they will buy our villas, let's suppose. You have to see like what is the age group you are targeting, like from 30 to 40 years old people. So you go for surveys and you target those people. You have a structured questionnaires that if you have
After the survey, you
yeah.
do a survey first of all,
Yeah, yeah.
on the internet, for example,
Yeah.
on your own website.
Not our own website. There is so many social networking sites. You
Okay.
can have an advertisement, small advertisement, to win something. Win a BlackBerry or something like that. To complete the survey. So they complete the survey and you get the
Okay.
information. Yeah.
Do people actually win things like that?
Yeah. We
Oh,
give
okay.
them the gifts. Yes, definitely. One more thing is like another way is calling them directly on random numbers, ask them what's their age, what their income, and if it comes to our segment, we ask the rest of the questions from them. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm still also speaking about, let me say that
I mean, Walid,
digital
here,
PR.
let me get back to the point that you just mentioned. Now, let's say for you and I, if somebody calls us now, like, in the middle of the day after we finish our program, and asks us, oh, how old are you? What is your age? What kind of television programs you like to watch? Or what kind of consumer products do you buy mostly? If you buy laundry detergent, how many times do you buy it per week or so?
Would I
mean,
answer him
Are you
frankly,
going
I mean?
to answer him? I mean, this is what I'm wondering
I mean,
about.
Yeah.
That's
How
a-
does it go about?
That's a good point, because
Yeah.
you're going to be speaking to a different also mentality. I mean, all over the kingdom, for example. And where do you find your customers? I mean, where do you get also these numbers and names, like, especially if it's for, as she mentioned, real estate or television, where do you get the name from, and how does it go? I mean, what I would like to know at the end is that,
Yeah.
the service that is being provided to the companies or to the
Mhm.
private sector, why is it, for example, different than the advertising companies or the consultant companies?
Actually, normally we get the database from our client. They do so many events. They have like registered, members. They have the numbers. They want to know like
Oh,
what
okay.
exactly
All
their
right. Now I
audience is
Right.
thinking about.
So
them,
just
yeah.
like when we go
Yeah.
and visit sometimes a public event or a social
Mhm.
event, and they have like the events diary
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
where you jot down
Registration
your
forms,
email
yeah,
address and
yeah,
your phone.
yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
Well, it's but I think on the other side it's understandable, but I know it's I think even us, I think we still need to go deeply also to understand how this works. But how do you also, for example, say that this was a successful campaign based on what? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Because people don't care about the success of the PR campaign. If you have very specific objectives of their digital PR campaigns, you can easily see that is it goes really successful or not. Yeah. If you have very vague and very not very specific objectives, it's very difficult. Once we set the objectives, we see like if it's impact objectives or output objectives. Like impact is like changing behavior or increasing their awareness level from 10% to 20%. So this is what we do it in the beginning of the campaign, all the objectives. And if it's like output objectives, how many members we needed, like 30 members we needed after the campaign or 300,000 members we needed after the campaign. So once the campaign is over, we do again one more research. If it's impact, that is it really works, like if we have 10% people know about our show, after the whole campaign we do the survey and we see like now 30% people know about our show. So our target was like to reach to the 20%, it means it's successful. it's more than successful. Or before running any campaign, if we have an objectives that we have to have like 300 fans on our social networking site, so we run the campaign and we see the numbers, either we get the same numbers or not. So this is how we see the success. But if you don't go for very specific objectives, you cannot measure that it's successful PR campaign or not. So it depends on the objectives, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. At the
Yeah,
same time,
yeah.
Mr. Jowad, I think after the show, me and you also have a long talk.
Okay.
I think I
For
need
sure.
also to ask about a couple of advices. Let me say that maybe would be put. You spoke about the success of such a campaign also, and what is it based on?
Yeah.
But on the other side, for example, the companies that do come to you, you guys work with big companies, as you also mentioned before the show, electronic companies, also real estate foundation or organizations. Let me say the contracts or the deals that is being put between me and you as a private sector. Is there like terms for it? Do I put terms on it, for example, that you know what, I want to get that sort of information based on this, and how does it work?
Yeah, definitely. We, before starting any project, we have a contract, and it's having terms and conditions also. The time period, what exactly we will, deliver. If it's more than that, so how much they will pay us more or something like that. If it's a young professional, he's just starting his, business. So don't go for without any contract. You have to sign a contract with the companies. You have to take care about all the terms and conditions. Sometimes you start the projects, you couldn't deliver in the same timeline. So the effort is more like you spend more time on the same project. So at the end of the day, you come out like you spend more money and you earn less money. So you have to come up with very specific terms and conditions that 3 hours we will work, or this is what we will deliver in this time period.
Indeed. Now tell us a little bit about your interactions with your clients, the people who come to you, the companies that you work for. How do you connect with them? Is it like, like something also digital? Is it like virtual communication between the two of you? Or is it that, they come, they see you in person in the office, and then you discuss all the agenda as to how the campaign is going to go, or how you're going to work with them?
How they approach us, like sometimes it's reference, like we do some campaigns with one company, so they refer us to other clients also. And sometimes it comes from digital networking sites. There's so many sites where all the professionals get registered, so by them, they just send us a message that we are looking for a PR agency, can you help us in it, or something like that. So we approach them like this.
So right, so you could also have recommendations from clients to have your prospective future clients as well.
True.
Now tell us, Mr. Jowad, as you're the executive director for this digital public relations company, that what do you think is in store for digital PR? I mean, do you see it like really expanding? Do you think it's going to take over the conventional form of PR?
Yeah, definitely. If you see the results of surveys every year, it's increasing. Before, people are just sitting on the internet. Now people are going for mobile also. The mobile is another platform of digital communications. So it's increasing. Before it was like 10%, now it's 60% their free time they are spending on internet and mobiles. So it's increasing. Yeah, I think the time will come that people will not go for traditional PR like opening a newspaper. They just go for social networking site, or they will go for search engines, and get information from the internet.
And I believe that this is really the case for most of the people nowadays, that internet has become such a reliable source, and they find it because nowadays we are constantly looking, because we have had so many of the budget deficits and so many of the financial complications in the world, some parts of the world where it's still ongoing as well. So people are always looking for the cost-efficient ways of marketing, of public relations. Hence, we get to see that there is definitely going to be a bright future for digital public relations as well. But however, with this, without any further ado, we're going to be extending our sincere thank you to you, Mr. Jowad Khan,
Thank you
for
very
joining
much.
us.
Yeah.
And we wish you all the best with your digital public relations in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for being with us. And well, so we were in discussion with Mr. Jowad Khan, with whom we were discussing digital public relations. If you have got any subjects, any questions regarding this subject, and if you are somebody who actually runs a company and would want to know how it is that digital PR could benefit your organization, you could send us your emails on saudimorning.ksa2@hotmail.com. And for the moment, as I earlier mentioned about budget deficits and financial crisis, well, we move on towards the stock market index so that you would know who is making money this morning. For the moment, stay tuned.